It's taking a little longer to go live than normal. There we go. Hey, everybody. We are live. Welcome to Happy Businessing with Suze. I'm Susan Fessenden, the founder of Profit Logics and the creator of the 5 Missing Pieces. This week, I'm super excited that I have on Stephanie D. McKenzie. Stephanie!
Hey!
You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Stephanie D. McKenzie. I am a multi-certified coach. I am an educator. I'm a healer. I am what else am I? My goodness. I am a lot of things.
A hero?
I am a superhero. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And my background includes marketing and about 30 years of entrepreneurship. Well, actually 36, if I want to be exact, years of entrepreneurship. But these days, you can usually find me helping people heal, shift, and be their own superhero in life, love, and business, healing, health, and wholeness. So
I love it. I love the concept of being your own superhero. I had kind of a rough start to my life. And I used to always fantasize that someone was going to save me. And I remember, spending a lot of my life just thinking if I just, met the right friend or if I just met the right person, that everything was going to be okay. And it took me a while growing up and working through my own stuff to realize I'm my own superhero. And so much so that I was going through a really rough time. I had broken my foot and I had lost my job and I was trying to finish, working full time and finishing up college. And things were just out of control. And when I went to go get something at the store, I saw this little Supergirl keychain and I bought it. And I'm telling you, this thing meant so much to me. There were so many times that I was stressed out or didn't think I had the strength to get through what was going on at the time. And I would look at that, I'd grab my keys and I'd see that little Supergirl emblem. And it ended up meaning so much to me that I ended up getting a little nickname of Super Suze. So I play a game called Empires and Puzzles and my name on there is Super Suze. And I got it tattooed on me.
What? Oh no, we need to see it.
Oh no, not this show. Not this show.
Okay, that's a different show. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Okay. But this concept of being your own superhero is so important. And I even remember after getting through that tough time, a friend of mine was going through a difficult time, so I sent her the keychain. I'm sending you the power of the Super Suze.
I love it. I love it.
It's definitely good stuff. I'm a new fan of yours, a new follower, just getting to know you. And I'm so impressed and also humbled. The stuff that you're doing is so impressive. It's really killer. So we were going to talk today about analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Which I know that sometimes I'm guilty of, and most business owners get stuck with it often, right?
Yeah.
So what comes to mind when you think about that?
I think, oftentimes we as owners, especially if we love to strategize and we're ambitious and we like to hit our goals, I think we think a lot. And if you're an Aquarius, I think you think a lot. And so, Aquarius. And so I think sometimes we overthink and then we put up these imaginary boundaries and these imaginary goals that have to be hit before the real goals can be hit. And the next thing you know, you've turned what would be a pretty, I won't say easy, but a pretty straightforward route into, a triathlon with, a moat and a dragon that you have to climb over. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get over this dragon. And I'm like, there was never a dragon in the first place. The dragon is in your mind. So
the dragon is in your mind.
It is. The dragon's in your mind.
Man, this is really speaking to me right now. So you guys, if you have a question, drop it in the comments. Say hello. Let us know where you're at. Let us know what you are stuck on right now with your analysis paralysis in your business. And maybe we can help you stomp that out live right here. Right now. Yep. Well, I know for me, I'm all about planning for my business. And I think that it's really important because I think a lot of people are winging it all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fine balance between having a plan and having a plan that brings stability and brings the vision and helps you have clarity, and what you're talking about, where maybe you're so attached to the plan that then you can't pivot quickly. You can't like get over these hurdles.
Right.
And I know for me, I'm struggling with that right now with my own business. I have, planned out this 5 to 10 year plan. I have the projections in Excel to back it all up. I know exactly. Oh yeah, I'm that kind of geek.
Me too.
I have it all planned out, right? And I have my business broken into 3 phases. And right now we're in phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all of these things that I said I was going to accomplish before moving on to phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of those things are not. They're not. And you guys, I'm no beginner here. Like I have 25 years of hands-on business management experience. Like I totally know what I'm doing, but I am even struggling in some of the areas of my business that maybe I didn't spend a lot of time in my hands-on career on, right? And so I keep going through this analysis paralysis myself. Hey, thank you for saying hi. Let us know if you have a question, and or let us know where you're stuck with your analysis paralysis, and we'll try to we'll see what Stephanie has to contribute to you on that. Yep. You're gonna do live coaching. Did you know that?
Oh, okay. It's that show tonight. Got it. Okay, we're here for it. Let's get it. Let's go.
So I find that I get stuck because I said, I want to follow through on my plan. And I had these goals and I had these little hurdles that I was milestones, I guess I'll say, that I said I was going to do before I move on to phase 2. But I got to tell you, phase 2 is looking really good. And phase 2 is looking really fun and exciting. And there's this really big part of me that just wants to go ahead and skip over some stuff from my plan and move on to that phase 2. What do you think about that? Like, what would you say to someone who may be in the same predicament?
I think, like you said, there's a construct of balance. I have a whole, I'm kind of like you. I have a whole master's in business. I teach on the collegiate level. I teach business and marketing. I own an award-winning marketing agency, so I know that the metrics matter, right? I get that part. But sometimes, we can't be so beholden to how we want to do it that we can't be open to the reality that there may be a different path. Have you ever decided to go a particular route? Like, let's say you're going someplace you've always gone and you don't set the GPS. But for some reason, like one of those routes, like it's like, I'm just going up here. I go there all the time. I don't set the GPS. One time, this is a true story. One time I set the GPS for this place I always go, and it gave me a route that I had no idea. I was like, what? Turn here? What? Yeah. Because it knew things that I didn't know. And, I do believe that there's something greater than us at work, regardless of whether, whatever you call it, that's fine. I'm not here to advocate for that. But what I will say is that, if phase 2 is calling to you, then take a look at it. Why is it calling to you? Is there something that you can reverse engineer from phase 2 to make phase 1 stronger? Like, I think we have to get to the point where we trust not only our logic, but our intuition, because we have both. And I think
I'm going to put that in the comments. I'm going to put that in the comments.
Okay.
We have to trust intuition.
Yes. And our logic, especially our profit logics. No, I'm kidding. But we have to, and I hate to say we have to, but it is to our best interest, to our best outcomes, to understand and to trust both our intuition and our logic. And if something is saying, talk to me, then talk to it. And maybe it's not time to implement it, but maybe there's something that you would learn if you took a closer look at phase 2, that would make phase 1 come into manifestation, come into view, feel better, be easier. And then you can go back to the plan, but don't forsake the fact that phase 2 is like, hey,
love that.
You busy?
Yeah.
Let's talk a minute.
Yeah. Absolutely. I definitely am one of those overthinkers. But also when I have even the slightest bit of clarity, I get into action really, really quick. I jump on it. And then I'm in a fury of action and people are like, wow, how did you get all that done in a short period of time? And it's like, well, you didn't see me doing my analysis paralysis for a while first.
Right.
So, I rely on my coach and my team when I'm stuck in these things. And I think that's really important for business owners. If some of you have not connected with a good coach or advisor or mentor yet, it's highly recommended. I mean, why not get feedback from someone who's kind of been there and done that, and that can guide you through and help you see when you have this analysis paralysis going on.
Absolutely.
So you can move forward. I'm a strong advocate of coaches, and I don't consider myself a coach. I consider myself more of a hands-on advisor / consultant.
Yes.
But coaches are very special for a reason. They're there to help you kind of get out of your own way and move forward on things. So what are some examples of this, being stuck can you think of? Do you have any recent examples with, an anonymous client or something?
I mean, I can give you me oftentimes, and I'm going to just say, y'all, I'm so sorry. I have this nose thing, and by the time we're done with this, I'm going to look like Rudolph, but I mean, just bear with me. I promise. Yeah, I promise. Okay, as long as we're good. But if you see me, I'm just trying to like not do the whole, nose trumpet thing, as my coach likes to call it, because I'm just like, ugh. Anyway.
That's okay. Actually, if you want, you can take a second. I'm going to post this comment that we got.
Cool.
Facebook user, I can't see your name because StreamYard hasn't been given permission, but I would say that when it comes to transmitting the information, I find myself focusing more on the delivery instead of what's being delivered. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I saw that.
I do that sometimes too, where I'm worried more about the process than the result. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I've had to work on in my career too, being someone who's strong process and structure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good point.
And, I think a lot of times, my own coach likes to say done is better than perfect. And I'm like, it is not. But, I have learned that it is, though, because sometimes you just have to declare it done. It's not the way that you want it, but it does represent what you are about. Like, I don't believe in, now he's not saying just throw anything up and, do something raggedy and, whatever and hope for the best. No, but I think sometimes, case in point, when I was launching this certification program, I was like, oh, I think I need to do a new website and I need to do this and da 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 da. And I had this litany of things that needed to get done. And something was like, pare this down. What do you actually need? Would a page of information do? Mm-hmm. Yes, it would. Okay, so we make that page really intentional. We tuck that page into our current website, and then we create the rest as we go. And that's okay too. I think so many times we feel like we have to have it all, right? Before we take one step. And I'm like, that's a great way to not take one step.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is a great way to end up, as you said, stuck. Because it's like, you've got all these moving parts. A lot of them are not moving, by your hands. So you're waiting on people. You're doing this, you're doing that. When I need to be nimble, I don't need a lot of people underfoot. I don't need to be waiting on the graphic designer and da, 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 da. Sometimes I just need to say, okay, Steph. And Steph say, what can we do to move this along in the integrity that we have as a professional and as a professional organization?
Yeah.
And then just pare it down to that. And then let's go off to the races, you know? And no, to this day, there hasn't been a full website. The trademarks are in process.
Yep.
Because again, this was all my list. Okay, I'm gonna have to trademark this. We need a logo for this. We need a before we even start.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can really relate. I've had a lot of that too. And so it means that you have to get comfortable with things kind of always being a little bit in process.
Yeah.
And for some of us, that's really difficult. But, I can really hear that. I had a really, really strong executive coach over a decade ago. And she was rigorous. I think I'm still scared of her. She was amazing. No, but I have a very strong personality, a very strong sense of self. So I need a strong coach. Like people that are coaching me are tough, okay, because they have to be to get through to me and help me see things sometimes. So it was a welcome rigor. Welcome.
Yes.
But one of the things that she would say to people all the time was, if you wait for all of your ducks to be in a row, guess what? You're never going to start. You're never going to get it done. Nothing's ever going to happen because your ducks will never be 100% in a row. Right?
I'm going to say you're about to duck up if you're waiting for that. But
don't duck up, you guys.
Yeah, don't duck up. Don't duck up your life. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because they're never all in a row. We've been taught that. And I think a lot of that comes from the construct of what I call the work wound, where we have to perform at a particular level and do this a particular way, or else there's going to be these dire consequences. And it has programmed us that, okay, well, we have to have it all done. We have to turn it in, and we have to, it has to be validated. And that, in doing that, we are validating ourselves. And see, I feel like once we get to the point where we can internally validate versus wait for external validation, then we become so much more powerful in our decision making and in our thought processes, because we're not waiting for somebody to say, oh my gosh, that's so great, that's amazing. We're looking at it. We are the ultimate judge. We're saying, bravo, let's go. And that's that.
Yeah. I like this subject a lot. Just start. Just start. Let's just make a decision. Well, because it speaks to me so much with some stuff that I'm personally even going through right now. So, and you guys, we didn't put a ton of planning into the show. We wanted it just to kind of flow and let the conversation go. And, I literally sent a note to Stephanie less than 24 hours ago. And I'm like, so what, or something like that. And I'm like, so what's coming up for you this week? Like, what do you think, what do you think sounds like a good topic to bring up? And, she writes about, stomping out the analysis paralysis. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah. All right. So we have a Facebook user. How do you pick the right coach?
Oh, he or she would ask, hi, Facebook user. Thanks for asking that question. Look, I want this immortalized. I'm going to say this right now. First of all, I have become increasingly concerned about coaching as a whole, because you've gotten a lot of people who have jumped into coaching and don't know what it is. And I myself, this is my confession, I became a fake coach in the early 2000s because I thought coach was synonymous with consultant. And I thought I was doing what the market wanted. So I wanted to use terminology they could identify with. That was wrong. Now, I'm not going to say that certification makes you a coach. I've said this before. I'll say it again. A lot of that is innate. However, being trained and certified does allow you to have the tools to actually coach. So how you pick the right coach, if you don't care about certifications, which is fine, the next thing is results. And results beyond a 5 and 6 figure month or year. Because there are a lot of coaches that are not operating at that level that'll blow your mind. And there's a lot of coaches that are operating at that level that are not even going to wet your whistle. So I'm not vilifying you if, I don't want to get a comment that says I make 6 figures and I'm amazing. We get that. But don't let that be the litmus test for, oh my God, they made 5 figures. That needs to be my coach. No. That's one level. Okay, so we've got certifications, we've got results, and then we've got to go with how you feel. How do you feel about your energy when you're with this person? Do you feel tense? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel good about the energy exchange, take their discovery call, look at them on Facebook. You know, social media is beautiful because you can look up anybody and most people have a lot of content. So
Right.
how do you feel about what they say? Do you resonate with it?
Yeah.
And then take the next step.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that is such good advice. So, I think with you guys, I've talked about this a lot. I do not call myself a coach on purpose. It's
You
not how
told
I operate, right?
You
And
told
so
me.
so I would tack on, I would like to add on to yes to everything Stephanie said, and know what you're actually looking for. Because sometimes you need a coach and sometimes you need an actual advisor / consultant, and knowing the difference in what they're going to bring to the table is really important. Like I said, I have a coach. She's amazing. And, I couldn't do what she does. Like I would hope to be a 10th of the coach that she is. Right. So know what you're looking for. If you need, someone who is going to help you with mind traps and mindset issues, limiting beliefs, things where you're stuck, those kind of areas are wonderful for a coach. If you need hands-on, no, this is actually how you do something. This is a client's thing. This is how you do such and such. This is how you set up different systems. This is how you build things in your business. And that's more of a hands-on advisor / consultant type, right?
Exactly.
But something I wanted to add on to what you said is, yes, go and research this person. That sounds like such a no-brainer and a duh.
Right.
Duh. But now I have a hair that's tickling me.
Contagious. That's what I sent you a hair to tickle you since I can't send you this nose thing. We are bonded now. We are one.
Yep. So I had a really odd situation where I had a very, very lengthy new client call. We talked for almost 2 hours, and it sounded, from the offset like a good fit. She had found me from a summit I did, and she was ready to go. I didn't sell her anything. She was ready to work. Like, how do we get started? How much is it? How do we do it? Right. Which is what I prefer. I never sell, I like people just to kind of come to me, etc. So we moved forward with the engagement. Right. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was so sad. We got a few weeks in and it was difficult. Things weren't going well. There was definitely like an energy mismatch, like you mentioned, but also a personality mismatch. And at one point, it's my job to confront it. I'm not going to take someone's money if they're not ready to do the work.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to take someone's money if I see that they're not really ready or right for me or right for this program, right? So sometimes, a coach or advisor with integrity is going to confront those issues with you, even though it means that they may be out revenue, but you got to do the right thing. So you're looking for integrity. And I remember asking her something like, I feel like you don't know what we're doing together.
Yeah.
And then she shared that before signing up with me, she didn't know anything about me. I'm like, what do you mean? I thought you met me from a summit I did and heard me speak. No. Well, I assume you've watched some of my shows where I talk about, no. Well, I assume you looked at my no. I'm like, oh my God. It's amazing. We made it a month. I mean, honestly, and it was a lot of money, guys, a lot of money. And she was willing to spend money without even, checking me out.
Yeah.
And stupid me, I'm learning from this. Let me tell you guys, I know better questions that I'm going to be asking going forward too.
Right.
But go research them, see what they're like out there. You can see my personality in 5 seconds because it's all over the place. I've got my live show, right? Yeah. And you can tell pretty quickly how I'm going to work with you. So yes, take the time. Let me remove this. Take the time and do the research. And, some of it is just feel like Stephanie said, how do you feel with the person?
And I will say, I'm developing because I am developing certificate, because I got completely, frustrated. And, as an educator, I feel like education is the solution. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that I've developed is what I call these dynamics around asking questions, the appreciative inquiry, but I've taken it a little step deeper. And something that I shared was something I called mirrored integrity as it relates to the coaching relationship. And what I feel like that means is that you can give what you get. So never mistake that, if you're coming into a situation that's unbalanced, that I have to accept, that it's unbalanced. Or if you're treating me poorly, I don't have to accept being treated poorly from a client. I have every right to not be treated, just as you, client, have the right to not be treated a certain way. I, coach, have the right to not be treated a certain way. And so when our energies are not vibing, or when the relationship is not vibing, unfortunately, I have had a couple of situations that I didn't know what I was walking into. And, especially when it comes to business coaching, I always say, I'm all about kudos and correction. I'm not going to co-sign nonsense. If you say this is the goal that you want, then I'm holding you to that. I'm making sure that I see what you're doing. If you're debranding, I'm going to tell you, because all that's going to do is retard the process. I require all of my business clients to make back their investment. I work until it's made back. So at the end of the day, I can't afford you to debrand for one moment. And then, that was the opportunity that somebody might have done business with you, but they didn't know it was you, because you decided to use, different colors, or a different logo, or a different this, or a different that, use different language, or anything that we have already talked about. So, like I said, mirrored integrity actually matters. And it is a concept that I completely made up out of my own experience as a coach, my own experience as an educator. Because I think also sometimes people get into coaching, and it's sometimes even consulting relationships, with unrealistic expectations. They have a magical mindset. They think you're going to wave a wand and money is going to rain down on their head. And it's going to look like a Nigerian wedding, and just money just on the sky. And that's not what's going to happen. So again, they have to be vested. They definitely have to be vested. And I think coaching works best when the individual is vested in their outcomes. So the other thing that we have to realize is, I have a consultant and advisor here. Coaches ask, consultants tell. And that's why Susan was saying earlier that if you feel like you need to be told what to do, then seeking a consultant is probably going to be the best thing for you. If you feel like you understand, but you want somebody to walk beside you and help you unlock that, and get that formula out, help you maybe give you some Heimlich maneuver, type of coaching. I don't know. It's a horrible visual, but anyway. But if you feel like you have it within you and you want it out, then I think coaching is the best fit. But
I really like how you put that. That's cool.
Thank you. I try to be useful.
I like it. Okay. So any last thoughts on the analysis paralysis topic?
I think sometimes we know when we're doing it, and just, this is going to sound crazy, but be willing to let the plan go. Just be willing to say, plan, I see that we are not actually in the best relationship. It's kind of like, well, it's not you, it's me. How can we revamp this? Be open. Don't be so dogmatic about, we've got to do step 1 and step 2 and step 3. It's not a military exercise. Be open to the fact that your plan is complete and utter garbage. Just going to say it. And that there may be a better way for you to maneuver this thing, and be open to it. Just be open. If it's not working, I have a friend that says, if at first you don't succeed, you did it wrong. And I'm like, I hope you're not skydiving. That would kind of suck. But be open with yourself. Be open with the plan, and be gentle with yourself.
I like it. Thank you so much for contributing to us today. You guys, there are links up in the post, so you can book a call with me. You can book a call with Stephanie. You can check out her stuff. And I want to give a quick shout out to the groups. I know we haven't had a lot of people on live with us, but I know most of you guys check it out later. But we are live in Small Business Owners United, a great community of 80,000 diverse small business owners. I love you guys. We're live in Women's Entrepreneur Network, a group of 70,000 amazing women entrepreneurs. And what Haley Gray, the founder, says, it's a group for women and very smart men. Hilarious. And we're live in Skyrocket Your Biz, my small community on Facebook for business owners. We're live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Thank you, LinkedIn, for finally approving me. Oh my God, it took forever. And if you guys have any follow-up you want to do, you know where to find us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Stephanie. You were awesome.
Thank you.
See you guys. Happy businessing.